Live to our reporter Phimani Baloyi, who is in Musina. This is in Limpopo for us. Phimani, it's a big night, of course, for those field workers behind you. They're getting ready for Census night. Tell us more.
Good evening, Mbongiwe. Indeed, it's a very busy night for field workers across the country as they prepare to launch this year's census to ensure that everybody who is within South African borders by 12 o'clock tonight is counted. Mbongiwe, as you can see behind me, we are at the Musina showground where various teams of field workers are spread across Limpopo, ensuring that they count everybody who will be in transit from 12 p.m. and people who will be in old age homes, homeless centers, and a lot of other areas that include hostels, hotels, as well as hospitals. But I'm going to bring in the head of Stats SA here in Limpopo to tell us more, Mr. Mokwebo. Mokwebo, take us through your plans for tonight. I see field workers here in Musina are already preparing to leave. What is the plan?
Tonight, starting from 9 o'clock, moving forward into midnight, we'll start counting the homeless people. We have identified spots where they reside here in Musina town. So we'll go to those spots. Once they are laying their beds and about to sleep, we'll be there counting them. So we'll sweep the entire town, counting all the homeless people. Afterwards, we're hoping that it will be getting to midnight. Right at midnight, that is when we'll be starting with the truckers, truck drivers, wherever they will be, starting from Beitbridge border post. We are going to go there and count all the truck drivers, the bus drivers, and everyone that will be inside that bus or everyone that will be inside that truck. So we'll be counting all of them tonight.
I understand that the Beitbridge border post, you will be counting everybody that is entering South Africa and leaving the country at 12 midnight. Take me through your processes.
What happens is, let's start with those that will be leaving South Africa. Now, if the person is at the border, let's say at a minute to 12 midnight, but that person manages to pass the border before 12, that person is not in South Africa when we take a snapshot of the country at 12 midnight. But let's look at this person who will be just approaching the borderline and it's 12 midnight. That person is still inside South Africa, so that one we have to count. So we'll approach that person. That will be the first person we count, and we'll count backwards because we cannot miss that one, because the moment we miss that person who should be in the snapshot of the country at that point and we allow that person to cross the border, then we would have missed one person who was in South Africa on the census night. So we have to count that person before they cross, and then we'll move backwards, counting all the truck drivers and the bus drivers, and we'll also count those that will be resting maybe on the side of the road. Now, there's another group that will be entering the country around that time. If they have not entered the country by midnight, then they are not in South Africa when we take the snap of the country. So we'll count them. Once they are inside, they are in South Africa, then we have to count them because they will be part of that snap. So if someone has entered the borders of the country and they are also maybe resting by the side of the road, we are going to count them because they are in South Africa resting, and they will proceed with their journeys after we have counted them.
You also have countless thousands of field workers spread across the province. Take me through which areas will you be targeting outside this Bembe district that we are at right now in the province?
It's everywhere. We are in Mupani, Tsanin, we are in Palabura, we are in Lipalale, Bilabila, we are everywhere. We are in Tabazimbi. We're doing the same thing. We'll be counting all the homeless people. We'll be looking for spots where truck drivers will stop to rest. We'll be counting them. Where buses will stop for a rest, we'll be counting them everywhere in the province. We are not skipping a town. We have a team like the team you see behind me. They're everywhere. We have painted this country green. So all over the province, we have people, and we'll be counting everyone.
Speaking about the team behind us, Mokwebo, I see them holding tablets. Take us through the technological advancements that this year's census is bringing to South African homes.
Yes, this time around we have taken census a step further technologically. We have advanced. We used to collect data using paper-based questionnaires. So our field workers will move around with papers. But this time around, questionnaire is loaded onto the gadget that you see them holding. So the moment information is captured into that gadget and a field worker clicks submit, that information is gone into our servers, ready for the next step, which will be editing and analysis. That saves us a lot of time of doing these edits, corrections that we used to do in the past, because information goes directly into our servers, ready for the next step. It will also assist us to release results much quicker now that information will be there electronically. So that is the advantage of these gadgets. I mean, it also makes census look clean. I mean, imagine the clutter of papers. Now we have equipment that we just use, and it works better for us. It also works better for the public.
Does this mean a South African who's going to get a house visit from Stats SA should expect to get the results of this year's census quicker? And is there a timeline yet?
Well, I can't speak exactly of the time, because for that time to be decided, we'll need other bodies in the organization to decide on that. I have to also remind the public that we also have the post-enumeration survey that has to be conducted first. And it gives confidence to the results of the census, and then the results will be released much later. But even though I'm saying much later, the time will be much shorter. The past census in 2011, I think it was released 12 months later, and we're using paper-based questionnaires. This time around, it has to be better than that, or even if we keep it to 12 months, that will be good enough.
Okay, Bomkwebo, let's now speak about it. I understand that SA has extended the date for registering for self-counting. Take us through how that process works.
What happens is that the closing date for householders to register themselves for self-enumeration, the closing date was the 31st of January, but that was extended to the 5th of February. What happens is people go to our website, www.statesa.gov.za. They click on a link there to be counted. Now they have three choices. One is to be visited. Two is to do self-enumeration on our online platform. Three is for them to opt for someone from State SA to call them and interview them. Now, these people that have opted for self-enumeration have to do so by the 9th of February. If they fail to do so, we'll be sending a field worker to their dwelling unit to enumerate them. We will know that you didn't complete the questionnaire, because the moment the questionnaire is completed and it's submitted, then we know that point is no longer available because the questionnaire is completed. But if that point remains available, after the 9th of February, we have to send a field worker to go and enumerate them.
And let's go back to these field workers, Bomukwebo. I'm seeing a mix of a lot of young people. I'm seeing a mix of males and females. Take us through how many field workers do we have across the country, how many specifically here in Limpopo, and what are some of the processes that you went through to select them?
Countrywide, we're looking at in the region of 165,000 field staff. In Limpopo province, we're looking at over 13,000 field staff. The process of recruiting these people, we also did that electronically. People were requested to register on our database for those that were looking for recruitment. And we put emphasis on young people, and they did apply. That is why you see them here. Now, the selection process was that we went back to the database. We'll indicate that we need people to operate in this area because people should work from where they reside. So we'll go back to that database, choose an area where we want a person to work. The system will bring a name, and then we'll interact with that person and handle all our human resources processes until we have all these people that we have today. That is what we had to go through.
Thank you so much, Bomukwebo. I'm going to bring in one of these young people who have been appointed to be field workers. Lebo, tell me, they say that you had to register on a database and you were selected and that you're from this locality. Take me through this process and how you're feeling about being part of this moment.
Oh, yeah. I registered. I got a post from Facebook, and I followed it, and I registered. I got a SMS. We both interacted as how I also went through some training, and through the training I had to go on, write a test. After writing a test, then I was also nominated to be part of this. So I learned that I thought this Census 2022, it's also a great opportunity for me. I would also say for everyone, for every young people that you see around, because looking at a lot of young people that went to school have their matric, as also the opportunities wanted, people that wrote matric, and you see where a lot of young people that have got matric, jobs are scarce. So with this, I feel for now, especially financially, with experience that I'm going to gain, and the one that I gained through the training, all that, I feel it's very, very much valuable to all the young people that got to get into this. So,
and tell me about yourself. Were you employed prior to this? Did you study? What are your future hopes after the census?
I was not working, and then I'm also a graduate. And then with that again, I feel like the experience that I just gained and the knowledge that I got from training from this census, I feel it's also something that I'll do when I also have to go get a job, find a job. It's something that is very useful, valuable to my career. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Lebogang. Bongiwe, that's Lebogang. I'm going to bring in another field worker, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, let's talk about you now. You're one of the field workers appointed. Take me through your process. Lebogang says she saw the post on social media. How did you hear about this opportunity, and how has it been for you?
I also came across the Facebook page for our local municipality mayor. He posted that on Facebook. I follow him. So I had to register online, but it took me about 2 months to can finish the whole process because of network coverages around here and stuff. But I did manage to get through that, and then I registered on the HR database, and they called me, and I started the training. We wrote assessments. Then today I'm here.
You must be very pleased.
I'm very much pleased because as a young man who is patriotic, the first thing that I should embrace is to be given a chance to take part on national duty. This is something paramount to me.
And let's talk about your preparedness. You'll be working overnight. Mr. Mukwebo was just saying at 12 midnight you'll be at the Beit Bridge. Take me through what did you do to ensure that you are able to work overnight and carry out this national duty to the best of your abilities?
What I did was to pray that I get the strength, from God, from my ancestors, so that I can never get tired, because around here in this district there is a saying which youngsters will always say, Uri chisole achitabi. So I'm going to soldier on, I'm going to work hard, for I have said that I'm patriotic, and this is a national duty.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Bongiwe, that is one of the field workers here at the Musina showground, telling us he is a soldier and he is ready to take on this national duty. Bongiwe will be following this team as they go to the Beit Bridge, border post and other areas here in Musina to ensure that we bring our SABC News viewers all the developments here. From my colleague Ulisani Livebe and myself, it's back to you in studio, Bongiwe.
All right, so thank you so much, Phimani, for that comprehensive update coming to us live from Musina there in Limpopo.